Today, we're going to dive into one of the biggest challenges for any parent or educator. How do we raise a self-reliant child? And this is a journey that goes way beyond just, teaching kids to do things for themselves. We're going to explore what true self-reliance actually looks like and break down some really practical ways we can help our kids build the skills they need to thrive. So, let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of why this matters so much. How do you prepare a child for a world that one day won't have you in it? Wow. It's a really heavy thought for sure, but facing it is kind of the whole point, the true north for everything we're about to explore. So to even begin to answer a question that big, we first have to be crystal clear on what our goal is. So let's start by defining what we actually mean by self-reliance, because as you're about to see, it's so much more than just being independent. Okay, this slide points out a really critical difference. See, independence is about what a child can do. Tying their shoes, pouring their juice, that's a skill. But self-reliance, that's about how they face the world. It's that inner ability to think for yourself, to weigh your options, and to navigate life. Really, one's a gask and the other, that's a whole mindset. I mean, think about it, right? Every single child starts out as a completely dependent little being. They don't just magically wake up one day and know how to do everything. This journey is a path we have to actively guide them on, step by step. It's a very deliberate process of slowly, carefully letting go. But here's the thing. For a child to even want to take those first brave steps on their own, they need a secure foundation to leap from. So let's talk about why the safety net we provide is just so absolutely crucial for their development. This slide just nails that safety net idea. I mean, think of a trapeze artist. They're only willing to try that wild new trick because they know deep down there's a net there to catch them if they fall. Strong, loving relationships give a child that exact same confidence to try, to mess up, and to get right back up again. And the stakes here are just incredibly high. A strong safety net really empowers kids to grow into healthy, confident people. But without it, well, that basic human need to belong can lead them to look for it in some really unhealthy, even dangerous places. This foundation isn't just a nice to have, it's an absolute necessity. All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about the how. We're going to start in the classroom, which is such a key place for building these skills, often for the very first time. The core idea is actually really simple, but it is so powerful. Create an environment where kids are empowered to do things for themselves. It means we have to shift our own thinking from being the person who fixes everything to being the person who makes it possible for them to fix things. And here's what that empowerment actually looks like. A spilled drink isn't a disaster, it's a learning opportunity. Keeping supplies where they can reach them sends this constant, unspoken message, you can do this. And teaching a kid to ask a friend for help with their smock, that builds social skills and self-reliance at the very same time. This is empowerment in action. Just by pausing and asking, what should we do about this? Instead of rushing in to clean it up, you completely change the game. We shift our role from hero to guide, and we let the kids become the heroes of their own stories. I love this puzzle piece mural activity. It is such a brilliant metaphor. Each child's unique piece is absolutely essential to making the whole picture complete. It's this beautiful visual way to teach them that their individuality is a vital part of the bigger community. Now, these ideas aren't just for the classroom. They are just as powerful, maybe even more powerful, at home. So let's look at how we can bring that same spirit of independence into our own families. Let's just pause for a second and try to step into a child's shoes. Can you remember the first time you tied your own shoes or finally balanced on your bike without help? What did that feel like in that exact moment? It's a feeling of pure accomplishment, right? That amazing mix of pride and confidence, and that little spark of, I did it. That feeling is the fuel. It's the powerful reward that drives a child's whole journey toward becoming self-reliant. But let's be honest, here's the real challenge for us parents and caregivers. It is almost always faster and easier to just do it ourselves. But the goal here isn't about being efficient, it's about empowerment. The key is to consciously and patiently hand over responsibility, one small, messy, imperfect task at a time. And these everyday tasks, these are the milestones on the road to independence. Every single one is a small victory, from brushing their own teeth to pouring that glass of juice, or even learning the crucial skill of how to just play by themselves for a little while. They're all building blocks of capability. And this right here is so important. You have to praise the effort, not just the final result. A shirt that's buttoned a little crookedly or a bit of spilled juice, that's a sign of progress. A simple, wow, I love how hard you tried to do that yourself, builds the resilience a child needs to keep trying even when it's hard. Okay, so we focus a lot on independence, but believe it or not, that's not actually the final destination. The ultimate goal, the thing we've been building towards this whole time, is something a little more sophisticated and a whole lot more rewarding. This quote just captures it perfectly. It's not just about being able to stand on your own 2 feet. It's about understanding that we all actually need each other to truly thrive. That is the wisdom we're really trying to pass on. This slide says it all. Independence is I, but interdependence is we. It's kind of the difference between one person building a little sandcastle by themselves versus a whole group of people working together to build something amazing. You know, a chaotic morning is a perfect example of this. One kid getting dressed all by themselves, that's independence. But the whole family working together, grabbing backpacks, making breakfast, finding lost shoes, so that everyone gets out the door on time, that is interdependence in action. So we'll leave you with this challenge. What is one small step you can take today to help a child on their journey towards self-reliance? It doesn't have to be some giant leap, it just has to be one small step in the right direction. So what's yours going to be?